Hi everyone, it's Michelle here. In today's card tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how I made a card with the sliding sentiment, which you can see in the photos here. When you first get the card, it's a little hidden, but then there's a little tab you can pull to reveal the sentiment underneath. This is just something that's a little different and makes your card more interactive for the recipient, so let's get started. I pulled out this stamp set from the Alleyway Stamps called Party Pooper, and I'm going to be using one of the little characters on here. This is just a little dog or bear, I'm not really sure, but I'm going to be coloring it in as a bear. So I'm stamping it in with my favorite things hybrid ink, and this is a Copic friendly ink, so it won't bleed with those markers. I stamped it twice just in case I messed up with the coloring, and I'm just doing this on a scrap of 110-pound cardstock. So sometimes I'll stamp things twice just because then I don't have to pull them out later if I mess up and clean my stamp off again and pull out the inks. So since I have the space on this little piece of cardstock, I just went ahead and stamped that twice. I ended up only coloring it in once and I liked it enough that I didn't have to color it in again, but sometimes this just saves you a bit of time to take that extra step in the beginning. So I'm just doing some really simple Copic blending with some shades of brown. So I started with the light and colored in almost the entire image, and then went in with a medium and dark and blended those out. And sometimes I touch the tips of my markers to create an in-between color as well. So that's just really easy, and you can color this in using anything you want, maybe colored pencils or watercolors even. And then I just fussy cut that out so that I can move him around on the card wherever I want. Then I pulled out this sheet of cardstock and another stamp set from the Alleyway Stamps called Alphabet Soup, and I'm going to be creating my own sentiment using these alphabet stamps. It's really good to have a stamp set like this when you don't have the exact sentiment that you want already in a pre-made stamp, and you can just create a custom one using this. So I just want to create a straight line, and I couldn't find my ruler, so I just used my scoring board and my grid mat to create a straight line with a pencil. I just want to make sure I'm stamping all these letters in straight since I have to do them one by one. So the sentiment I'm creating is here for you, and this is going to be a sympathy card. So I don't have a lot of sympathy sentiments, and I like making ones that are a little more custom. So I'm just going to go ahead and stamp those one by one, trying to keep the letters close together because I don't want the strip to be too long. You want to make sure it's shorter than the length of your card, which you can see here. And sorry my video cut out for a little bit, but as you can see, I cut a little notch at the edge of the sentiment, and this is going to help us later on for it to not slide out. So it's pretty simple, but you just want to make sure it's on the side where the sentiment is going to be coming out of. And it doesn't have to be a specific size, just as long as it's bigger than the width of your sentiment strip. So then I pulled out another piece of cardstock that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and you want to make sure this is separate from an actual card base because you need a layer to hide your sentiment strip under. So I just used some distress inks to create kind of like a sky background. I used a yellow, a pink, and a purple, but you can really just choose any colors you have. Then I created a really simple mask using some scrap paper just to create kind of like a landscape-like hill. This doesn't have to be perfect either, just whatever shape you wanted, but I just wanted some kind of foreground for my little bear to sit on. And then I blended that out with a dark blue, but then I thought it was too loose, so then I added some brown, and then it turns into this earthy color, which I kind of like. So now I have to find a place for my sentiment strip to slide from, and as you can see, it's going to go behind the bear like that, and once we make a little cut into this background layer, it's going to be completely hidden. So again, you want to make sure your sentiment strip is not longer than your card, otherwise it won't fit. And I just marked really quickly where I wanted that to go, and then as you can see, I'm cutting a really skinny little notch that's only just as high as the sentiment strip. And I'm just using my X-Acto knife to do this, and then you can see that I can pull that through just like that, and those little notches that I created earlier stop it from going too far so it won't slide out. And I'm just erasing the pencil lines that I drew in before I forget. And since we have those notches on the left side to keep the sentiment strip from falling out, you also want something on the right side so it doesn't fall into the card behind it. So I just pulled out these freckled fawn dimensional hearts. Something that has a bit of dimension is good, like this, just so that it really can't go under even if it wanted to. On the back here, I'm going to draw some guides for where I should put my adhesive later. You want to make a box that's just slightly taller than the width of those notches. You don't want to have it completely around the shorter part of the sentiment strip because otherwise the notches won't be able to get through past that. So you can see I'm drawing a box around that, and all my adhesive is going to go in places around that box. So I've adhered that to a card base, and sorry again my video cut out just for a little bit, but it's pretty simple stuff, so I'm sure you could figure that part out. And then I adhered my little bear on some foam adhesive around that sentiment. Make sure I don't adhere the actual sentiment strip so that it can still slide. And then I added some more freckled fawn embellishments, these glitter enamel stars, which I think are really pretty, and some of the colors match the sentiment strip, so I thought that was really fun. And here's the completed card. You can see how that slides out pretty easily and doesn't fall out, and it's just something really fun and different for your card. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, this is just something a little different to make your cards more unique, and it really isn't too hard to do at all, so I hope you give it a try. Here are some pictures of what the card looks like with the sentiment strip hidden and pulled out. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to my channel, and you can also click through on any of the images on the screen here to see other tutorials that I've done in the past. You can also find me on Instagram and Pinterest. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.